Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. You know, on this channel, it seems like we test a lot of flashlights. I get O-lights that get sent to me, and we've tested out several tactical lights and so on. Once in a while, I like to test something a little bit different. In fact, we've only tested one other type of lamp that kind of falls into the same category on the channel. So there's a brand that I've given away for the last couple months on my Patreon drawings, and the brand is called Nebo. Now, Nebo makes probably 2 or 3 dozen different types of flashlights if you look around on Amazon and so on. I do purchase these locally. I buy these at my local Shield store. They're normally $12.99 for the Nebo Einstein Cap, but it was on sale for $10.39, so I bought a couple of them. So it has 2 major features that I was looking for in my next headlamp, okay? One of them is gonna be rechargeable. It's gotta be rechargeable. And 2, it had a really cool feature. It has hands-free operation, and that's really the thing that sold me on it. There are many times where I find myself with my hands full, whether I'm under the hood of the car or I'm out walking the dog, right? And I need some illumination, or especially if you're wearing gloves in the wintertime, just to be able to wave in front of your light and have it turn on without having to fiddle with a button or find a button can really prove itself to be convenient, especially if you work on a lot of machinery or find yourself working in maybe cramped spaces. So the Nebo Einstein Cap, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing charged up. We're gonna test it out. We'll just try it out down in the garage, and then we'll actually take it out on a little walk with the dog and just see what kind of illumination it actually provides. We're only talking 50 lumens here, but when you have a headlamp on and you're working close up, you don't need a lot of lumens. In fact, you don't want that glare coming back at you, but you want to make sure you have enough light to see what you're doing. It is IPX4 water resistant, so I think we'll at least submerge it underwater and just see how water resistant it is, and just make sure it doesn't get any water behind the lens or in the battery compartment. It does have a little clip onto it, and it does come with a USB cable. ABS construction with a 1-year warranty, and it says that you can register it. Now, it's got 3 different settings, which is also nice. It's not like it's just like an on and off. We do have a low, medium, and high. And it says with the 50 lumen setting, you get 2 hours and 50 minutes off of a charge, which is pretty good. And it throws a beam out to 16 meters, and I'm an American, so I have no idea how long that is. It's probably, I don't know, is it times 3? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Medium will go for 6 hours at 14 meters, and low will go 5 lumens for 18 hours at 13 meters. And so anyway, it does have 2 buttons on it. It looks like it has a power button, which is probably gonna cycle through the different settings. And it has the W on it, which I'm assuming is wave mode. So what I'm curious about is, in pitch black, if I have wave mode activated, is it going to detect my hand when it goes in front of it? Or do I have to start off with the light on and then wave and have it turn off, and will it come back on? Because if I can't control the light beam or turn it on or turn it off, it might not be as useful to me as I was hoping. So anyway, let's get this charged up. We'll try it out in pitch black down in the garage. We'll take a look under the hood of the car and just see how well it illuminates. And then we'll take the dog out for a walk and just see what the light looks like. All right, guys, so stay tuned as we check out the Nebo Einstein Cap. Okay, so right out of the box, there's a few things that I like about it and a few things I don't like about it. What do I like about it? It's very lightweight. The buttons have a nice rubbery feel, so they're easy to actuate. It does have LEDs on the front, and when you're using it, it does tell you the status. If each LED is on, that's 25% per bar, so you can tell if you have a 100% charge or not. They also light up when you plug it in, so you can see how far along the charge is, which is really cool. It does have an option where you can put an elastic strap through this clip right here and put it on your head, and you could use it like that if you don't have a ball cap. So that's cool. They give you that option, but they don't give you the elastic strap. That's up to you. But they do give you some padding on the back, which is kind of nice, so it's going to prevent it from like pressing into your skin. They do have some little teeth in here, which will keep the elastic in place when you're wearing it so it doesn't move around. The problem that this can create is this takes up a lot of space in here. You almost have to Dremel this out in a certain situation. My coveted Babe's Chicken Dinner House, wonderful restaurant by the way, in Garland, Texas, you should check it out. But anyway, the Babe's Chicken Dinner House hat has a super thick brim to it. And being a Nebraskan, we wear ball caps pretty much all the time when we're outside, so this can be a problem. Because of the extra thick brim, I'm not able to push the light back all the way and get it to lock into place because of that little bit of extra plastic they put in there for the elastic strap. So I got out the Sandhills Media Sandhills Shooter ball cap, and that has a thinner brim to it. Because let's face it, us Nebraskans know how to make a ball cap, and we can lock it into place, which is cool. So it goes in there, it locks in there, it's not gonna move around at all. So if you have that extra slack on there and it's not locked in place, you shake your head, it's gonna go flying off, okay? But now it's locked in nice and tight. All right, so let's go and check it out on high, the 50 lumen mode. And I can't remember what the medium number of lumens were. I didn't mention it, it might be 25, but again, pretty good light. Let's go down to medium. If it's flickering on camera, that's just the effects of the camera. That's not what it looks like in real life. The beam is solid, there's no flickering in real life. And then we'll cut it down to low. Okay, now let's go and put this into hands-free mode. And in order to do this, you have to choose what light level you want. And that's what it's gonna stay at when you're in hands-free mode or Einstein mode or whatever you wanna call it. So we'll go ahead and press the button for wave mode. Okay, now in order to get this to work, you have to wave about 5 or 6 inches in front of your hand. There's a little sensor on the front that's maybe shooting out like an infrared beam, and when it detects that gets blocked or reflected back, it's gonna go ahead and turn it off like I just did. So I'll move my hand in front, it's off. Move my hand in front again, it's back on, okay? The problem I'm running into is my camera is large, okay, and it kind of blocks the light, so it thinks that's a hand in front of it. But when you're working in front of something, it's not going to turn off, okay? So that's something you have to kind of keep in mind, is if you have anything in front of it that's gonna wave in front of it, it's gonna turn the light off. So it's cool having the hand-free motion, like if you just need to do some work and boop, put the light back on and go back to work. But anything you wave in front of it that's gonna block the sensor could cause it to come on and come off. So you need to kind of mess around with it a little bit and just see what you think and then decide if it's really the way you wanna go. I mean, just moving in front of my camera, I think maybe, yeah, I can get it to turn back on. So anyway, it's kind of fun just to mess around with. But if you're riding a bike or you're jogging or something, you just wanna flick it on when you go and then flick it off when you get home, you're all set to go. All right, so let's go ahead and test it out in the garage, and then we'll dunk it in water, and then we'll do a battery rundown test, and then we'll go outside. Okay, so we are in the man cave here. We're in the garage. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on max, which is the 50 lumens. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I am seeing more light in person than you guys are actually seeing on camera. It actually illuminates really well. Kind of walk around a little bit. And I can see just fine, no problems at all. Let's go ahead and put this on medium and see what it looks like. Again, more than enough for me to see what I'm doing. Okay, there's medium. And low, which you may not be able to tell on camera, but I can actually see just fine if I was walking. In fact, here's low with my hands in front of the camera. So I mean, as you can see, if you're working with your hands, you're gonna see just fine. And this is about a foot away from my chest, 1.5 feet away from my chest. All right, so I'm gonna put it back into high. So it would make sense that in the waving mode, that you start off with the brightness level you want, then you press the button for wave, which I'm gonna do. And now I'm going to put my hand in front of the sensor. If I can get it to turn off. Okay, so it's off, pitch black. I'm gonna put my hand in front of the sensor again. Ooh, well that is, okay, so this is really weird. Okay, so you have to watch how far you put your hand in front of the sensor. Okay, so I'll put my hand in front of it, it's off. Put my hand in front of it again. So you wanna be about 6 inches in front of that sensor when you wave your hand. Otherwise, if you're super close and pull back, it's almost like it's gonna think the dark is your hand and it's gonna turn off and on. So it's actually very easy to use. So let me do it again. Hand in front of the sensor, pull back, hand in front of the sensor. Okay, it's real easy to do. So it does work in pitch black, which was one of the main tests. All right, let's just see how good the illumination is under the hood of a car. Okay, so there is a little bit of light coming from the windshield, but I do have the hood up right now. So let me go ahead and do max illumination. And I gotta be honest with you, this is really nice. I mean, I can see everything I need. It lights up the entire engine bay, which is really cool. It's a real wide beam, and that's awesome. In fact, I like this because it's a wider beam than what you get with just a traditional flashlight, and you don't have to worry about just having the flashlight just the right location. So if you need to see something, if there's something wrapped around a belt, or something's leaking, you can definitely check. You can definitely check and see. All right, let's go ahead and do a water test and see if it survives that, and we will go from there. Okay, so I went ahead and did a little more research, and they said IPX4 means that it can survive water splashes from any direction. It does not say that it is completely submersible. So anyway, going back on what I said there about IPX4, I might have been looking more at IPX7 or IPX8. So let's just turn on the water, and we're just going to splash it while it's turned on and just see if it happens to short out. We have it on high, okay? Just go ahead and splash it in the sink. There we go. This could simulate maybe getting rained on, right? That might be a little bit more than what it's intended for, but hey, why not, right? Okay, let's go ahead and dry it off, and we'll see if we have any water intrusion in that USB area where the USB port is. We're just gonna leave it on to see if it happens to shut itself off. Okay, let's go and open this up here. There's a little bit kind of here on the edge, but it looks like the plug area is dry. I see no water down in that little tiny plug in there, so we're good to go. So it does survive the IPX4 splash test rating. So again, kind of go back and let's just maybe discredit what I said about IPX4 waterproof and dunking it, but still be nice to know if it had a little bit tighter plug in there to keep the water, the dust out, and so on. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and charge this up, and we're going to do a battery rundown test. So as soon as it's fully charged, we'll take a look at the clock. We'll see if it's still running, 2 hours and however many minutes later high is supposed to run on, and we'll go from there. Okay, so on high, the little Nebo Einstein Cap Light is rated for 2 hours and 50 minutes. It is currently 250, just about 250, 249. So if it can go to, let's see, 349, 449, 549, If it can go to 5:49 p.m., that's going to be a 3-hour runtime. If it goes to, 5:39 p.m., that's going to be the 2 hours and 50 minutes. So let's just go ahead and start it up. Let's see if we can make it to, that'd be cool if we can make it to 6 o'clock. All right, we'll put it on high, and here we go. And again, these little LEDs will slowly extinguish as your battery runs down. And real quick, let's double check. Yep, we're on high. Okay, we're gonna let that go, and we will see you guys in just a little bit. So we are 1 hour into our battery drain test, and it's 3:49 right now. 2 of the bars are already gone. There's 2 bars remaining, so we've got an hour. Again, it's still on high. What I like about it is there are some lights that like step down the lumens to preserve the battery. This is not doing that. This is just staying on like it was before. Again, I want to do these updates about every hour just in case the battery would happen to dump and I wouldn't notice it. So again, the battery could take a few charging cycles to get back up to, its maximum capacity. So it could take a little while in order to get that full 2 hours and 50 minutes of runtime out of it. But we're going to keep doing it. We'll see if we can get another 2 hours out of it. If we do, we'll essentially have a 3-hour runtime, or if it's just 10 minutes short, we'll get the advertised 2 hours and 50 minutes. All right, we'll be back in an hour or two. Okay, so I wanted to get this on the camera the moment that it happened, but I got a phone call, and so I had a little bit of a delay. So at 4:15, this knocked down to 1 more bar. That means that the battery's got 25% left. Is that battery going to last another hour and a half? I don't know. We're going to find out. As soon as it goes dead, we'll come back one more time and let you know. We'll get it charged up, and then we'll take it outside and just see what the light looks like. Okay, everybody, it is 5:35. We are 15 minutes short of this light reaching 2 hours and 50 minutes of runtime. We started at 2:49 when we turned the light on just to let it run down. And when we film again, it's going to be dark out, and we're going to see what the light looks like. Just, without any kind of reflective surfaces, not in the garage, if there's like just out in the field or going down the sidewalk. And then also the lights blinking. That's what happened as soon as it got down to 25% and ran for a little while, and then this came on. So I think it's here to tell you that the light is about to go dead. So I will tell you for sure the ending time as soon as it happens. So it could be in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, or it could go another half hour. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it, and then I'll let you know once we start back up again. So hang tight. Again, just on a regular sidewalk, it does add a lot of extra light. It does work really well. And again, it's nice not having to turn my head to get things to light up. It's just lit up automatically. So put the light off here. There we go. See the before and after. And it is actually brighter than what you guys are seeing. Okay, so this is a field that doesn't have any lighting like in the middle of it. There's a little bit of perimeter lighting and that's it. But you can see as I light it up, it's really nice actually. Here, let me go ahead and just turn the light off just as a comparison for you, so hang tight here. There's medium, there's low, and then off. So you can kind of see the dog. There's a street light that's on the corner of the lot here, but if we put it back on, okay, it's got a nice light. A little hard to adjust. You really can't do much with the angle of the headlight itself, but just out here in the field, it's probably about a 15-foot wide path that's lighting up for you, and it goes out, it probably goes out about 30-40 feet. It's decent. But if you got to go through a completely black field, it's kind of nice. What you're seeing there's the shadow off the camera, by the way. So anyway, it does work really good. Going down and cut down to 20 lumen mode again. There you go. I can still see pretty good with that. I can actually walk pretty good. It's a little awkward carrying a camera. And then we'll go ahead and turn it down to low and off. All right, let's bring it back for a few final words. Okay, so that pretty much wraps things up, and just my final thoughts on it. For $13 to have a nice 3-hour runtime, to have 3 different modes of brightness, 2 different wearable positions, rechargeable battery, cables included, a little bit of water resistance, and that cool wave actuation to turn it on and off, and then also the indicator lights. It really does offer a lot of value for $13. There's been times where I've purchased flashlights in the past where it's been way more lumens than the application that I really needed it for. Sometimes you think more is better, especially if you get a light that just has like an on-off to it or just a few brightness modes. What's great about this is you don't get that glaring beam. It doesn't bounce off the walls and just wash out what you're looking at, which makes this really good for a lot of hands-on stuff. Like I said, under the hood was absolutely fantastic. You got a nice wide beam of light, which is great too. It doesn't have just one concentrated spot, which, for like a tactical application or a spotlight, I can understand that. But for just a simple, riding your bike or walking light, I think this is great. You got about a 40-foot projection from what I saw, and even more when you go down the sidewalk where it's going to be a lot more reflective. So Nebo, I'd say you definitely have a win in my book with this one. So the Nebo Einstein Cap, make sure you guys check it out. I know you can order them online, but like I said, I just buy these locally. And I can see myself maybe picking up some of these as gifts, you know, for the holidays. They're inexpensive, but they're also very useful. I mean, man, if anything, just keep it in your car and you could use it if you have to change a tire. Just put a ball cap on, especially if it's raining out. What a great application. So anyway, guys, this is Travis P11. Thanks for checking out my review of the Nebo Einstein Cap Light. It's a great little product, and if you look around, you can find some great prices on it. We'll have a lot more videos coming your way, and do make sure you check out my podcast called Caliber Corner, which we do Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time. We talk a little bit of everything. In fact, by the time you see this video, we'll be having the next Saturday episode will be all about flashlights. So I'll try to put a link to that video at the end of this video once it happens. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, mash that bell. Have fun, be safe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.